Hello, everyone. My name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian fishing for float fishing career. Logged in, it's about 8 o'clock. We're still at Mosquito. There are two rough orders here that would be really nice if we can get. Might be a little bit of a challenge to get 11 rough over 44 grams, but I think it's worth a try. So that's what I think I'm going to at least do for the nighttime, and then we may go back over to Oldberg or something like that afterwards tonight. But let's see what we can get as far as the overnight hours go with rough. Would love to get those two orders done. So I want to put a 24 hook on here with got enough red worm. Let's do worm on the float and let's do red worm on the bottom rod. Then we also want to switch this. We'll put a 20. We'll put a 20 on this one. I want the 22 on the bottom rod. I would like a 24, honestly, on the bottom rod, but we don't have another 24. And I want this at 6 meters. The clip. So it is almost perfect time to start looking for rough. And let's see what we can catch tonight. Getting both orders will probably be a struggle. I mean, 11 rough, 5 of them over 70, 6 of them over 44. We may get the 6 over 44 or the 5 over 70. I don't think we'll get both. But it's a good amount of silver if we can't get both. That was not a rock. So it is about 10 o'clock at night, my time on October 21st. So a little bit of late night recording here, but I'm all right with it. Got the spin fish done earlier today. That's a decent rough. Small, though. Not big enough. That rough didn't meet either order, which is unfortunate. White bream. Not what I expected. This experiment doesn't work out. It doesn't work out, but I think it's definitely worth our time. Assuming we get at least a few marker rough here, we should make our money back. Between episodes, I did finish making the rest of the semolina, so we're up to 32.4% on our bait harvesting. Dog's going a little stir crazy today. I left him at home alone for a little bit, and he actually tore up the room he was in pretty good. Tore some carpet up, so trying to get him to calm down. Just hopped up, laid down next to me here, so hopefully that helps. Dog just hopped up on the couch next to me, so trying to keep him calm. Had to leave him at home for a little bit, and good old separation anxiety on a dog I've only had 7 months, and with me working from home, I don't leave him home alone enough. I'm trying to get him used to that. And today I had to leave him home for a couple hours, and he tore the room up a little bit. So it was an experiment with. I got him a crate to put him in, and he throws his stuff around in the crate, but doesn't necessarily not like it. And I wanted to see if he would be okay in the room with the crate open, and that was a mistake. He was not okay with that. Tore up a good section of the carpet today. But carpet's 17 years old anyway, so not entirely surprised. We'll keep working at it though. That's about all we can do is get him used to it. I think I'm going to have to step away for a half hour or so every day to try and get him more used to it. So far, every rough we've caught has been tiny. The 300-gram white bream was a nice surprise. Another red worm. I'll take it. Would have loved some experience, some percentage points there too. I do have the float rods both at a meter deep. Here's our first one that qualifies for the small order. That should be a couple silver at least for that fish too, even if we don't get the order. Looks like it might be a decent one. Second one for the small order. I think it was 6 on the smaller ones and 5 on the bigger ones. Could have that reversed though. Don't. That might be rough. If it is, it's a big one. White bream. Fortunately, a small white bream. A little bit tired tonight, so my eyes are a little bit deceiving me on what the fish are. Wouldn't help a buddy of mine try and put a TV together this evening. Just worn out from that. I think I just missed a bite on this rod. Didn't mean to click there. Luckily, I don't think I pulled enough to interrupt this bite. Another white bream. Assuming the rough are still biting on worms. I haven't actually checked recently. Yeah, straight worm, red worm, and night crawlers. You don't have night crawlers. I know they also said with the recent update they changed the bait preferences of some fish. So that's part of why I went to go look. I missed a bite there while I was digging. That's why I went to go look to see if they had changed it away from worms. I didn't think so. I caught rough over on my spin fishing account pretty easily too, over at Laya. I think if I had to do things differently, I might have done only one of the two starter plus rods and gotten a bolo rod instead of one of them. I don't know. Just kind of thinking what what I could have done differently and if it would have made sense. Hello, decent fish. Is that a tench? Nope, Crucian. Decent Crucian too. I do have the feeder cage on. Excuse me. I do have the feeder cage on, but I don't actually have any ground bait in it. Of course, I get the hiccups as I'm recording. It is what it is there. 21 worms. Nice. Actually, I have no idea how many worms I have, but it's probably ridiculous. Probably not a rough, probably another white bream. The reason I said that was the way the bite happened with the float being pushed up and laying over. That's typically a bream style for me. Couldn't tell if there was a fish on or not. It was kind of sitting in the water weird. Hit F1 instead of 1. Probably another white bream. A tiny white bream. They're almost not even worth keeping. 32.5. 2.5% to go to get up to garlic dough. Wrong button. Still got back to it. And it looked like a rough, small rough. Not big enough for the orders. Another Crucian, it looked like. Another silver and a half, probably. Mark for white bream. I don't wonder if there was a white bream order. I didn't look. That's a rough. Little too small. In 44 or 70-gram rough are what we're looking for. Or bigger, obviously. The minimum 44 or minimum of 74. We are out of tea. That's unfortunate. No more worm digging until I can get some more tea supplies. That's a good rough. One, two, three. 3 out of 5 or 6 needed. I can't remember which it was. Missed the bite there, I think. Didn't have my hand on the keyboard. That was my fault. That one was just a eye twitch on my side. Or maybe a small bite, but not an actual bite, more of a nibble. That looks like a decent rough. 70-grammer. Nice. The first one that would qualify for the big order. Fourth one that would qualify for the small order. Still plenty of time in rough time. I think that's going to be a rough. Nope, small Crucian. Just with the way the float was being drug across the water, that made me feel like it was not going to be rough. Float was just popped up there. I didn't realize it until it was too late. That's a rough. It's a big rough. Nope, small Crucian. Didn't see it. Just too small. Just barely. Missed the bite on 2 while I was trying to get the bottom rod cast out. Keep wanting to dig, but with no more tea, I can't. Well, I can, but I shouldn't. A small Crucian. Not a rough, not a fish anyway. I guess the proceeds from Mosquito will go to more tea since we ran out. I didn't think we actually would. Can't remember how much I made the last time. On rough. On rough. Might be a rough. Or it might be a crappy Crucian. And the bite rate's been good. The quality of fish has been bad. 24 fish in 10 hours. Wasn't even looking at 2 for a second there. Only looking at rod 1. Another white bream. Another non-marker. The crappy Crucian. Another missed fish. Another time I tried to drink tea that I don't have tea. Just instincts. My eyes scanned the HUD and saw food was a little bit low. And oh, I need to drink. Can't. Already ate all my thermoses. Saw the line go completely slack here. Says Bertha Skibble. We lost money on that fish with catching it with a red worm. Still about 3 hours left. This is a big fish. 1.4 kilo gibble carp on a size 24 hook. Oh, that's entertaining. Another lost money because of red worm. About ready to put the bottom rod on worm. Normal worm. We do have our free food we can eat here at Mosquito here in a little bit, which I will definitely do. I want to get to 10 a.m. before give up on rough if I can. Decent roach. Crappy Crucian, maybe even a perch. Thought I saw some green, that's why I said it might be a perch. White bream. It was a marker at least. I think there was a bite on this that I couldn't get to while I was recasting. So 12 hours, 33 fish. Not bad. Not bad at all. As far as buy rate goes, but as far as markers go, not as good. Probably white bream here. Probably white bream over on one as well. For nothing. Usable Crucian on a 22 hook. Still about an hour left while that rough are usually active. Although it is a little bit warm for him already. Normal tiny bream. Missed fish. That one was my fault. I pulled it out too early. We may have gotten started a little later than I thought. At least looking, we just crossed 30 minutes. We may have gotten started closer to 9. Thought we got started about 8:30, but I may have just logged in at 8:30. And by the time my did a worm dig, grabbed the free food, and got to the cafe. We passed a half hour in game. That's believable. 304-gram white bream. White bream are going to make us some money, I think. This is D, just barely a marker. If it wasn't a Crucian, that would have been nice. Hello, big boy. Okay. 2.2 kilogram trophy Crucian carp. On a size 22 hook. Ooh, just barely got whatever this is. Either a perch or a frog with the way it ran, but it was a good perch. Usually, my experience, our perch and frogs are the ones that kind of take off real quick with the float bait or mussels. But we're not on a river, so I wouldn't expect mussels. I don't even think there aren't even mussels here to catch. It is after 10, so I don't think we're going to see any more rough today. I'm trying to decide if I want to go a little bit late into the evening and try and get rough and just stay here at Mosquito today. Mosquitoes turned out to be good to me. I didn't even lock the bail on here after that Crucian trophy. Another white bream. Ah. Oh. Let's go see what we've ended up with so far. So I can make a decision. Definitely going to stop by and get my free food. And notice I went from pretty deep red food to almost full food there on the free food. The fish market overall, 46 silver. Not bad. For the quality of fish we caught, not bad at all. And it's going to be higher because there's 8 silver on small Crucians. think I'm going to go try and get the bleak order that was there. It's 5 20 gram bleak. How much was that trophy Crucian worth? I'm just curious. 13.29. All right, so let's go ahead and put Crucian Gibble mix in with. I'm going to do Sweet Dough. We'll cast that a little bit this way. And then we'll shallow. We'll set the rod down because I'm an idiot and press the wrong button. We'll make this much more shallow, closer to 25 centimeters. And we'll put bloodworm on. Plenty of bloodworms. Let's see if we can't catch some bleak. All right, those are all set up. So going for big crucians, hopefully over on the bottom rod. Going for bleak on both of the float rods. So far, it's panning out. My thought is we're close enough to getting the small rough order that I want to stay around and get that. And I think we can make enough experience in silver on fishing bleak here warrant staying here versus spending the silver to go back to Old Berg right now for just a half day. Honestly, I want garlic dough when I go back to Old Berg if I can, but I don't know. Thinking I should have put semolina porridge over on the bottom rod now. There's our second bleak. Second good bleak, too. Both of them been pretty good markers. Not a bleak, but a decent fish. Third marker. Interesting, every bleak that's been caught has been on a smaller hook, but it's always been on monofilament. And now that I say that, I realized I can put a size 22 hook on my other float. What? Am I catching bream at 1 o'clock? Okay. Bream are usually night fish. Another one that qualifies. That one luckily was a tiny one. Another reasonable bleak. I do want to go ahead and put 22 on here. Still on bloodworm. Still want to try and get more bleak. I think we've gotten the order, but we've gotten some good sized bleak as well too. So if we can get some lower quality, smaller bleak, I would like that because then we can sell the bigger ones to the fish market. Of course, we started getting a bite right as I went to itch my head. Another non-meat, non-marker. I'm okay with that. Means we get to sell another marker to the fish market. Ah, that was my fault. I knew it. I almost even let off the mouse button, but it was too late by then. That's another bleak. Another small marker, but marker. That was a quick bite, and I missed both of them. There was a sleeper order I saw as well too. That was something I thought about. That's a bleaker. Another non-marker. Nice. Need to find bleak and rough at Old Berg consistently. Sleepers. Wouldn't mind getting on the Tinch as well, but also getting to Quarry and being able to buy cheese would be good for Tinch. Actually, I haven't looked to see what Tinch are biting recently. Cheese for the longest time was the best bait for them. Records, weekly, inch. Been on night crawlers and boilies recently, the big ones. As far as bleak go, I got 3 non-markers. Wouldn't mind 2 more, but I'll take the 3 I've got. And really, we're close enough that it's not worth even thinking about leaving. Usually about 8 p.m. 2000 hours. It's when rough start picking up again. I do want to try and get that rough order knocked out. At least a small one. Right over here. Got it. Marker roach. Float on one's kind of hard to see with the reflection of the roof of the grocery and hardware store. I had to think what that was. Another perch, but not big enough for the perch order. For sleeper. It was a marker, so I'm not going to complain. I know there was a sleeper order up well. Ooh, I did get it. Big bleak. Is that another bleak? If so, it's a huge one. Perch. That's why. I just saw only a small portion of it and knew it was a big fish if it was a bleak. Another marker bleak. We've got a potential 100 plus silver day here. We already have 10. It was 8 really from crappy Crucians. And we had 45 before then, so that was 53. And we've been on the bleak and we've been on the marker bleak as well, so this could be a good day. And if we can get the rough order, there was another 20 silver. Another marker bleak. Another perch or crappy Crucian. Crappy Crucian. And I only say that because it was not even big enough to qualify as a marker. It was a worthless Crucian. Obviously, Crucians have been good to us today with the random trophy Crucian we got earlier. That was my fault. Lost. I just didn't see the float, so I figured it was underwater, but it was not. Also, 56 fish is pretty reasonable. We're not even at 24 hours yet. Still have 9 minutes real life time to go. Tiny, tiny, tiny sleeper. So small and my eyes are so tired I didn't even see it. Didn't sleep super well last night either, so I'm not entirely surprised I'm tired. Just couldn't fall asleep. It was about 2:30, 3 a.m. before I finally fell asleep. It feels like that's catching up to me tonight. And it's almost 11 o'clock, so I'm not entirely surprised. Usually between 11 and midnight's when I start heading to bed, aiming to shut everything down, turn the brain off about midnight. That looked like a bleak or a tiny sleeper. Tiny sleeper it was. Game heard me talking about sleep. Another marker bleak. Also, noticeable move on experience points. It's well towards level 14. Another reasonable Crucian. Just today, we moved probably 5 to 10% of the way. Nope, that was my fault. That was a miss on my part. Do want to go ahead and switch this rod over to what I was saying is I want to switch the bottom rod over to fishing for rough, but then I saw a bite. So not CV, small, no ground bait. I want to put the size 20 hook on, and we'll go with normal worm. Interesting that the bells rang on the rod since I didn't lock the reel. Decent leak there. Missed whatever that was. Float down. Lock the bottom rod in. So using the bottom rod to really tell me when the rough are here. And then we'll switch the float rods over to rough fishing too. Because around then the bleak will be gone anyway. Still a little bit early for rough. Another non-marker bleak. Does that get me up to 5 non-marker bleaks? 4. It's pretty much any bleak qualifies for the cafe order. It's 20 grams or greater. Don't think that was a rough. It's a small roach. Don't think that was a bleak. I think it was a crappy Crucian. Very crappy Crucian. 30-gram Crucian. We've caught bleak that are bigger than that Crucian. Speaking of bleak bigger than that Crucian. $67 fish. I haven't been recording an hour yet, even, so good day. Another big Crucian. Another bleak. Another non-marker. Nice. If my sleepy brain is correct, that's 5 non-marker. Almost just held down the wrong key. Almost just held down X, which cuts the line. Yeah, that's 5 non-marker bleak. And it's the right time anyway. I'm going to go ahead and switch all of these over to trying to get another rough. Another few rough. I don't know how long into the night we'll go here. I would like to get at least one more 40-gram plus. Like to get 6 70-gram plus rough too. But I don't know. I don't know how long my brain's gonna let me be focused enough to float fish. Don't think that's a rough. Crappy Crucian. Again, only crappy because it's not worth anything, not a marker. That was probably a white bream. Crappy Crucian. Got the weather's been warm again. The laptop's getting warmer than usual. We were in the low 80s today for a high instead of low 50s. Nice, Bream. Not quite a marker, but for float fishing at Mosquito and small hooks, that was a decent fish. Another reasonable sleeper. Rough, we've got 4. I want at least one, maybe 2 more 44-gram plus. That might be one. Oh, just short. Switch back over to the sinker. I don't think it's going to make any difference. But since we're not using ground bait, let's use the sinker instead. Looks like it's going to be a white bream. Marker at least. All right. This might be a rough. Looks like a good rough. It is a good rough. Nice. So I think that was a small rough order. I think it was 544-gram rough. I think it was 670 plus gram rough, which we're currently nowhere near. It was 644-gram rough. We just got it. I think I'll go at least a little bit longer here. Not exactly sure how long. Another good rough. They're crappy white bream. Didn't look like a rough as it came out. If it was rough, it was a good rough, but wasn't quite. So we got 20 more fish we can catch before we have a full deep net. We're just barely over an hour. May miss that fish. I don't know. If the bite rate keeps up here, I'm tempted to go for a full deep net. If the brain starts shutting down and I start missing fish more, we'll just have to shut it down because we've kind of met the goals for today. White bream over here on 1. Or bream, but it was a small white bream. Crappy Crucian. Got excited for a second. It looked like it was a huge rough. Marker Crucian, so it's at least reasonable. I evidently left my email client running. It's gone now. Probably a rough because it was completely under. Maximum number of fish caught in a day at 7 a.m. or at 07 a.m. Midnight 07, 12:07. There we go. All right. My brain's done tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and reel everything in. I almost just tried to spin fish in a float fish, and that's or a floating rod. That's what told me where my brain was a little bit on the worn out side, which not surprised. I only got about 4 hours of sleep, so. But let's go see what we have as far as fish go. Straight to the fish market, 87 silver. But if we come up here, we only need one more perch. We got the sleeper order. 135, 164. I didn't order them by weight there, but I'll take that. Bleak by weight. All the 5 non-markers. 20 silver there. So there's 20, 30 silver. Didn't get any tinch. I don't think we got 670. No, we only got 170 gram. But we did get our 544 grams. So there's another 27. Already forgot how much we were at. 30, 57, and 8 is 65. And 78 on 65 is 140 silver day. What was the perch order worth? Is it worth going to fish it? All right. Let's see if we can pull off a random perch. Spin fishing. It's worth 10 silver. I'll cast out probably twice here. And if we don't get anything, we don't get anything. I hit the wrong button. I thought I was hitting R and the box was red. So I'm like, oh, I got a fish on. Yay. But I hit 4 instead. So the only reason I'm doing this is there is a perch order that we're 1 short on. And I want to just see if we can't catch a quick perch. Right now, the answer looks like no. Just trying a couple of spin tactics to try and get a fish. I don't really have the right lures. I don't really want to buy a spin lure right now. Last cast here. If we don't get a perch, we don't get a perch. Not gonna get one. Unless we get a random last minute one right here by the dock. Wouldn't really expect. No last minute perch. Oh well. It was worth a try. But we'll go ahead and sell the 78 silver there. Gets us up to 270 silver. Again, we did run out of tea, so we'll need to buy some more tea. I'm going to go ahead and buy the 100 pack for 60. I'll brew that off camera tomorrow just because you don't want to watch me brew tea over and over and over and over and over 100 times. But that'll get us enough tea to last us for quite a while and let us keep digging. So I think that's going to be the plan for today. So I'm going to go and wrap it up there. We do have 212 silver in the bank. Today turned out to be a really good day from a cafe order perspective. Didn't quite get the big rough order, but knocked out 4 orders for a decent amount of silver here and caught some really good fish overall. So hope everyone enjoyed. We will see you tomorrow and hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Bye bye now.